Hello and welcome, my dear students. Today we're going to talk about frequency of activities. When I say frequency, what does that mean? It means how often something happens. How often something happens. So today we're going to talk about these things. So you are expected to participate in a conversation about frequency of your activities. From these words you can tell that we're going to use something called frequency adverbs. Frequency adverbs. They are adverbs that show how often we do something. Never, rarely, seldom, occasionally, sometimes, often, generally, usually, and always. All of these are called adverbs of frequency. Again, what does frequency mean? It means how often something happens. Does it happen always? Sometimes? Usually? Or never? Okay, let's start. First, I want to introduce you with our word list for today. These words are important in our lesson. They are always, usually, never, sometimes. The first four are adverbs of frequency. We have activities, help, go, throw, and tidy. And we're going to talk about these activities using the four frequency adverbs from the most often, which is always, usually, sometimes 50-50, or never. For example, look at this picture. 6 a.m. Every day at 6 in the morning, I wake up. Every day. This is very frequent in my life. So what would I say? I would say, I always wake up at 6 a.m. Why did I use always? Because every day at 6 a.m. I always wake up at this particular time. Look at the other picture. Here's a boy going to school, and in our schools we wear uniforms. Do we wear jeans? No, we don't. So he says, I never wear jeans at the school. I never. Here, I don't do this at all. Here, I always wake up at the same time. Always, never. Okay. Let's now listen to this video. This teacher is talking about the frequency of activities that these people are doing. Listen together.
What do you do on the weekend?
I usually stay home, but sometimes I go out.
Oh, where do you go?
Sometimes I go to the beach. Sometimes I go to the park.
I often go there too. Do you ever go to the lake?
No, very rarely. It is too far from my house.
Okay, so notice the girl and this boy used words like rarely, sometimes, often or often, you can say it both ways, always or sometimes, showing the activities they do. What do you mean by activities? Can you name some of these activities? Playing football is an activity. Swimming is an activity. Reading is an activity. So can you talk about your activities using frequency adverbs? Let's see if you can do that. For me, for example, I would say, I always read books at night. I never drink milk. I sometimes go to the park. I usually visit my mother on Friday. Notice I used always, sometimes, usually, and never to talk about the activities or the things I do. Let's see if we can write and match the suitable frequency adverb with a suitable verb, and then we're going to match it with the suitable picture. Now, what do these pictures show? They show different activities. And here the sentences are describing the picture using frequency adverbs. I want you to notice after finishing the exercise, where is the location of the frequency adverb? Where does it come? Before the verb or after the verb? I think you can tell. Let's read the options together. Sometimes goes before the verb, usually help before the verb, never throw, and always tidies. What can you see in the first picture? A boy tidying his bed. In the second picture, this is wrong. The man is throwing things or garbage from the window of his car. Here, this man is planting a tree, and here they are going shopping or buying things. Let's see which sentence goes with which picture and what is the suitable adverb and verb. My father in the garden. Where is the picture of a garden? Yes, this is this picture. So, my father. So, I do something with my father. What do you think? Excellent. I usually help my father in the garden, and this is the right picture. My brother. Notice brother. What's the pronoun that refers to the brother? He. When we have he with the present symbol, what must we add? Excellent. Super S. So my brother, his room. My brother always tidies his room. Notice? Yes, this is the super S. And where is the picture? That's right. My mother to the market. My mother to the market. What does she do in the market? She sometimes goes to the market. Again, my mother, she, he, it, always take S. Goes, tidies. Okay. What about the last sentence? Oh, we didn't match it with the right picture. Which picture is the right one? That's right. This picture. We garbage from the car window. Notice cross, this is wrong. So we never, that's right, we never throw garbage from the car window. Okay, again, where does the adverb of frequency come? Before the verb. Now the adverb describes how often does the verb happen. So if I say I usually help my father, does that mean I always help him or sometimes? More than sometimes, usually, but not always. My brother always tidies his room. Every day he tidies his room. Very frequent. My mother sometimes goes to the market. Sometimes, maybe 3 times a week, not the whole week. And we never throw garbage from the car window. We don't do that at all. 0%. Excellent. Let's see now if you can order and write the right sentence. Now in English, a sentence must start with a subject, then a verb, then the complement. What if we have an adverb of a frequency or a frequency adverb? Where do you think it must come? The frequency adverb must come before the verb. Before the verb. So here we have the frequency adverbs. What are they? Always. Sometimes. Usually. And never. Okay? Let's see if you can order the sentences correctly. You must start with the subject. Where is the subject in these options? We have the museum, go to, I, and usually. That's right. I is the subject. Where is the frequency adverb? That's right. It's usually. So I usually, after the frequency adverb, I must put the verb. Where is the verb? Go to. Go to what? Go to the museum. So the sentence will be, I usually go to the museum. I usually go to the museum. Can I say, I go usually to the museum? Wrong. Can I say, I go to the museum usually? Not acceptable. So always put the frequency adverb after the subject and before the main verb. Can you do the second one for me? Yes, you can. Where's the subject? Here is the subject. Where is the frequency adverb? Sometimes with the verb watch. So this is easy for you. You have the frequency adverb along with the verb. We sometimes watch what? TV. When? In the evening. So we sometimes watch TV in the evening. Let's do the last one. Where is the subject? Ali is the subject. Where is the frequency adverb? It's here. After the subject. What do we need next? We need the verb, which is eats. Ali always eats what? Vegetables and fruit. So Ali always eats vegetables and fruit. Remember, subject, frequency adverb, verb, and then the complement of the sentence. Let's now read and answer. I want you to look at the picture and the question. Here we have a question. What did I use? What question word did I use here? How often? When I ask a question using how often, I'm asking about how many times do you do this thing? Or do you do it always, usually, sometimes, or never? So whenever you want to ask about the frequency of your activities, you need to ask with how often. Excellent. What is this boy doing? He is eating chocolate. So how often do you eat chocolate? How often do you eat chocolate? Let me answer this question. I eat chocolate very often. Or I always eat chocolate. How often does your father go fishing? How often does your father go fishing? If I want to answer this question, I would say my father never goes fishing. My father never goes fishing. Look at the third question. How often do you visit your grandpa and grandma? How often do you do that? I sometimes visit my grandpa and grandma on Saturday. And the last one, how often does Kareem go to the mosque? What do you think? I think Kareem always goes to the mosque. So you can answer these questions the way you want, but remember to put the frequency adverb after the subject. All of these are what? Activities or things we do. We eat chocolate, we can go fishing, we visit our grandparents, and we can go to the mosque. We can help our parents, we can cook with our mothers. All of these are activities, and you can ask about them using how often to show how frequent do you do them. Let's now do this exercise together. In this exercise, you have two things to do. You need to put the frequency adverb and you need to put the correct form of the verb. Now notice that with frequency adverbs, we use which tense? Simple, simple, present. With simple present, I, we, you, they, we leave the verb as it is. So if the verb was play, I play, we play, they play. But if the subject was he, she, or it, what should I do? He, she, it, always take S. So he plays football, she plays football, and the cat plays with the toy. Okay, so you need to put the frequency adverb and the correct form of the verb. Let's do together the first one. We have I, and then the frequency adverb here is often or often. Clean. What should I do? Nothing. I would say I often clean my bedroom at the weekend. Do you clean your bedroom at the weekend? I hope so. The school bus. Notice the school bus. We have one bus, so it. It takes what with the verb? We need to add S. What about always? Always must come after the subject and before the verb. So the school bus always arrives, excellent, at 8:30. What about Tony? Tony is a boy, so he takes what with the verb? S, that's right. And where should I put never? Before play. So Tony never plays, excellent, computer games with me. Plays, arrives. I clean, nothing. Okay? Yes. So this is the end of our lesson for today. I hope that you can now talk about the frequency of your activities. What do you usually, sometimes, always, or never do in your life? Till I see you again, have a nice time and goodbye.